What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with our Tales of the Rays video. So, I actually don't remember if I went over last month's producers are. I usually just go over them when there's actually going to be game updates because most of the time they just kind of talk about what order the events are going to be in, which I usually tell you guys anyway, because it's usually only a few days away. But there is actually some game news that I'm actually pretty excited. It's not really anything major, but it's still quality of life stuff that I think is kind of nice. So I do want to cover it in a video. So let's talk about version 4.4 that they start talking about here. At first, they just kind of talk about, the stuff coming to the game. But let's talk about the update. So, as we got with the last, couple of event stuff, we have been able to use more than one ticket at a time, but it looks like they're actually going to implement it like permanently. So up to from 1 to 10, no matter how many tickets you have, like if you only have like 6 tickets and you don't want to do, one by one, you're going to be able to have the option to just use, those 6. So like right here, you can see on this picture, there's only 7 tickets, so you can either choose to use 1 or you can use 7 at a time. And then if you have over 10, you can use 10 at a time. So like if you used 10 right here and you only had 7 left, then it would let you use the 7 like you see right here. So that's pretty cool too. So that should be on every banner moving forward, because there have been like some tickets that come out that we haven't been able to use multiple of, but it seems like this is like the official update that's going to implement it for everything. Okay, let's look at. I actually didn't read too much into this. Let's see what this says. Function that allows you to draw a trade exchange box. Implemented so you can check the equipment details and gacha breakdown. Implemented. Trade exchange. Oh, okay. So I guess with the turtle shop, right? Function that allows you to draw a trade exchange in a box when circling a spiritual equipment. Obviously this is like Google Translate, so this isn't the best stuff. So we're just kind of looking at it to see what it actually means. So that was one. Implemented so you can check the equipment details and gacha breakdown. Okay, so I guess it's just you can check, like, I guess if it's on a banner, you can see, you can click this and then, oh, okay, yeah, and then it shows you the rates for the current banner or whatever. Okay, so that's cool. So it just lets you basically take a look at what it actually is, like, on the banner rate-wise and stuff like that. Assuming you already have it. Fly directly to the Kaminen shop. Kaminen is the turtle shop. For each character, the enhancement screen. Okay, so you'll be able to quickly jump to that, which is pretty cool. Equipment level up method from item quantity input to equipment level. Okay, so they're just making it easier to level this stuff up by having a little bar. They're also doing a set. This is something I've wanted forever, because those who don't always have the correct bonus characters for events, you tend to have to get the smaller currency and trade it into the higher currency to trade for the weapons and tickets and stuff like that. Now, the issue always with that is you always have to hold your thumb down on the plus sign as it slowly goes faster, slowly gets more of your currency, and it doesn't take forever, but it is time consuming a little bit. So what'll be nice about this is there's just going to be a max button. For whatever you want to exchange for. You just click it, it'll do the max amount, boom. You click OK, you're good to go. Something about tutorial. Okay, so very, very, like I said, it's very minor stuff, just some small little changes, but some of the stuff is good quality of life stuff, the way I see it. There have been many requests for 4.4.0 so far. Main content is to repair the UI, which is out of reach. Okay, so basically, they're just trying to make things better quality of life stuff for the UI. Many of them have been pointed out since the beginning of implementation. We are very sorry it took so long to respond. Okay, so this is also a minor update version 4.4.1 is scheduled to be done within May. This is function mainly for beginners, want to train and strengthen in the early stages, but I don't know which gacha to go to. In response to the opinion, depending on the progress of the situation. Okay, so it just recommend, item packs and stuff like banners and stuff like that. Okay. So this is future about the policy. So I have wanted to make a video on this, and I may still make a video on this separately about the game's story coming to the climax. So as it says here, I think I have posted a direction of updates for spring, summer, autumn, and winter. It's a matter of course. This year, the main story scenario reaches its climax. So that's basically saying Last Cradle is... I was wrong. When Last Cradle first came out, I got a lot of questions of people asking me, is Last Cradle the end of the story? And I initially said no, because they had clarified us that the game isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So I had assumed that the story was going to keep going. But this is the conclusion to the main story of Tales of the Rays. So the story of Ix and Melina, fighting against Demetrius... all that good stuff is coming to an end here. Now, that doesn't mean that's the end of the game, as they're saying here. So, let's read what it has to say. So, as the main story reaches climax, some people say that the future is uncertain, so in order to dispel your anxiety, the progress of the... So, they're basically put out a roadmap for the next year, to kind of explain that the game isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And really, if you are a Tales of the Rays player, like you play pretty consistently, you're seeing all these major updates. Why would they make these updates if they were going to shut down the game? It literally would make zero sense to, implement a new equipment system, which we haven't even had for a year. All this stuff you're seeing implemented now, why would they implement it if the game was going to shut down? So let's see what it says here. Okay, so June through summer, point event major renovation. Okay, so they're going to renovate how event points kind of work. To give existing... Okay, so I'm hoping that this means that, maybe So, if we get, for example, the first event is going to be Rebirth. You can see it right here. So maybe when, a future event that's for a specific game, maybe they'll let us use any character from that specific game. That would really be nice, because not everyone wants to summon for every single of the 200 plus units, so being able to use more characters and events will definitely help, but, it is a gacha game, so they do want you to summon. Implementation of bonus time, minigame. I think this is just more Google Translate stuff. I think this is basically just saying, point renovation for that. Implementation of event-specific page to... Okay, so this is just talking about how they're going to renovate stuff. Examination of event-limited AP... Okay, this would be nice. Event-limited... So, event-limited, that implies that maybe that... So, for example, if they're not implementing it here, they're implementing it during the summer, but if it was here and it worked on the Rebirth event, maybe there will be specific, Apple Gels for AP that have, a Rebirth symbol on them, so that means, you can only use them during this Rebirth event. I would like just general AP recovery items, but, at least this would be a step in that direction. Because those would be much more useful on, because... It would be one of those cases where if you wanted to save them for a specific, Spirit Gear event, for example, if it's only for a specific event, you really wouldn't be able to save them. So we'll have to see what they kind of... Hopefully, when they say event limited, that just means, you can only use them... Well, that'd be weird. How would it... Because you only have one AP pool, so it'd be weird, event limited. Maybe it just means you can only acquire them through events. Maybe you have to buy them from the event shop, and then you can kind of hoard them for what you want. We'll have to see. Hard to really tell right now. Autumn update, repair of spirits and end contents. So I assume that means Spirit Gear. Might get a renovation. Tower. Okay, so the towers are also going to get some kind of renovation. It doesn't matter if it's small, so I'd like to propose a new play cycle. Okay. Winter, renovation of existing events in preparation for 5th anniversary. After the 6th year and 5th anniversary, new development. So, new development could mean anything. But I do think it means that they plan to do something brand new with the game. Like, what this could very well mean a brand new story. We could get and people have speculated this for a little bit. Brand new main characters. You know, Ix and Melina, unless they obviously die at the end of Last Cradle, which hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully, you know, Ix, Melina, Kokis, Phil, who's still not playable, you know, all of them. Marcus, who still needs a seasonal. Hopefully none of them die at the end of this arc. But regardless of whether they are around or not, they could start a new story with a brand new cast. I don't know if this would take place in the further future, how this would work. Would all the exoflected characters, you know, Yuri, Lloyd, Saray, Sophie, would all of them still be staying in this world, and this will just be a few years later? Would they get exoflected again? And would these exoflected versions remember everything from before? How would this work? But I do think new development probably implies that we will get more story, but this will be the climax of the original Ray's story that has been going on for 4 years. As I mentioned in the beginning, there's still some parts under consideration. There's a great possibility of change. This game does very well money-wise. You know, it's a legitimate Tales game on your phone. You know, obviously, you know, Crestoria is cool when it doesn't have the bugs going on. Asteria is okay. You know, Asteria is probably on its last legs. But Ray's is an actual Tales game that's just on your phone. And we have, like, double the amount of characters than we've ever seen playable in a Tales game. You've got villains who you never thought you'd see playable. So this game is very, very well received in Japan, and it does very, very well money-wise. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon, especially since we have so many characters they can still add. Now, of course, besides the Arise cast, all the main characters from Fantasia to Berseria are basically in the game playable, which is crazy. Okay, so it may change, but I'm thinking about this now. Okay, we would appreciate it if you could take it as a story of future prediction. Okay, so they're basically just saying that, you know, the game will change, and we're just gonna have to see where kind of things go. You know, Last Cradle will be the final story arc of Ix and Melina, of their story, and then we'll have to see where it kind of goes after that. So, you know, there you go. Okay, so the event order. So the first event, sadly, will be the Rebirth event. I was so excited last night, and now I'm just like, because I have nothing to spend, and I did like 7 multis on the tier banner when I didn't even need anything for her. I had her third 5-star. I didn't really care anything for Anna, so I was literally just throwing my diamonds, hoping I would get Tears Overray, which I also didn't need because I have 2 Mirage Arts for tier already. Oh no, I have 3. I have her regular, her seasonal, and her decisive Mirage Art, so it was a waste of diamonds. I did get Legretta's Mirage Art, but, you know, So, at most, I'm probably only going to be able to throw, like, 3 multis at this. And then these other 2 I would love Will's, by the way, if you didn't see my pinned comment in my last video, I did make a mistake. Walter is story. He's not an event, which I should have picked up because there were only 2 other characters, and Norma and Will are getting overraised, not decisive Mirage Art. So I made a mistake on that. My apologies. And then the final event for this month will be the Dual Mirage Arts, but it is not a Raise Festival. So we're not going to get, you know, a banner that has the old Dual Mirage Arts with free multis and stuff. So this is just going to be, it's being treated as a Coliseum event from what I've been told. So if you are going to go for these, it's not going to be as, well, actually, it'll be the same because you had to summon normally on other ones anyway, but funny that this is Creed and Little Queen's, you know, second Mirage Art in general. They haven't gotten anything at all. Okay. So let's see what they have to say. Tales of Rebirth independent event starts mid-May. So it'll start this Friday, the 14th. Let's see. Obviously, Slay is coming. Mao Eugene. Google Translate says Titley. T-Tray. Decisive Battle, Magic Mirror will also be available at the same time. The contents are to be introduced on Twitter from tomorrow. Let me just tell you one thing, that very popular Rebirth Mender marching costume. It will be implement. Oh, okay, so T-Tray is going to be getting so like marching band costumes. I think I thought Mao and Eugene already got their marching costumes with their regular mirror jar. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's pretty cool there. Main scenario part 4, chapter 8, Walter participation, late May, which will be around, the 25th as usual. Yep. Well, for those, I mean, they like I said, Raze doesn't care about spoilers. So if you haven't finished Legendia, or at least like the main story of Legendia, Walter dies. Yeah, he's gonna be a companion. We're gonna be able to use him, which is crazy. And then Norma and Will Overay will also be available. For those who are gonna summon for that, I wish you luck. It's definitely much more of a useful banner than just like if Walter came by himself with nothing else attached, because there's actually other things you can get from it. So that's pretty good there. And then Arena event crossover Magic Mirror late May. So end of the month, so probably like the 31st. Which is like kind of good for me in a way, because like that does give me from the 14th. It gives me basically from today until the 31st to throw whatever. I mean, not today, but in terms of saving my diamonds. Throw whatever I can at this. If I walk away with at least like T-Tray or Mao's Decisive Mirror Jar, I think I'll be happy, but who knows? My luck hasn't been great on Raze once again. Unfortunately, I won't be able to use like the new tower to get currency from, because that doesn't start till the 31st. But at least I'll have story to use for that. We're playing a stadium type event that has not been held. It has been very long since we got a Coliseum type event. Let me tell you, in the future, we will continue to use the same format for crossovers whose implementation was confirmed in the... Okay, so they're basically saying if they don't win the first 3 spots in the Raze Festival, because usually there's 6 pairs that players get to vote on by basically clicking them and doing the stage. So the top 3 will get Raze Festival banners, and then the 3 that basically the losers of the... I don't like to say it that way, but basically the ones who don't win will get regular Coliseum events. So they will be implemented, just not as like the main ones. This time was the first implementation of the second half finalized group, so we organized the event in a form of simultaneous implementation of 3 sets on a trial basis. Okay? There's a possibility we'll implement separately if the event is popular. Okay, so this is like a trial thing they're trying to see. Just how it'll go. Standalone event, we're preparing so you can enjoy it. We would appreciate if you could give us opinions or requests after having fun and playing. Okay, very cool. And then last thing down here, they do talk about Arise a little bit, it seems. Okay, so this actually has me kind of excited. Let's see what they have to say. We finally entered the 5th year. I mean, well, we've been in the 5th year for a couple months now, but yes. There was new information about Arise. I hope you can buy a PS5 by the time it goes on sale. I really do feel bad for people who just can't get one right now, just because the stock is just so horrible for PS5s. At the time of the fan meeting, and obviously, notice how they only say PS5. They don't make, because PlayStation is like the main console, I guess you could say, in Japan for Tales. Even though it is coming out on Xbox and PC. At the time of the fan meeting, the party members of the old Mothership title are gathered. What will you do with the characters participating in the future? I received this question. As you can see from this month's participation playable, if you include the characters that were not playable, there are still many unique characters I would like to participate in. We're also preparing that, so don't worry. Someday Arise characters will haven't run out of things I want to do in the 5th year, all the stuff. So they're basically just trying to say that, yes, they will try to implement the Arise cast when it's the right time. I would not expect the Arise cast until after the 5th anniversary, though. So, well, yeah, I want to say after the 5th anniversary, because they're not going to release, spoiler Mirage Arts, a month after the game comes out. So I think it after the 5th anniversary would probably be a good time. Either that or like right before, maybe in like January, we could see a banner with like Alphen and Xion, which would be interesting because usually they give seasonals with events, even if they add new characters. But with this, it's like, what would you even do with it? I mean, obviously we'd know once we've beaten the game, but they will eventually add the Arise cast, especially since the game is not going anywhere anytime soon. So it's all very exciting. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think down below about this Producers. There are some pretty exciting quality of life stuff, as well as the events coming around. Do be reminded, I'm going to mention this every Raze video until it actually happens, that there is a summer collab for Asteria and Raze that's going to happen. So if you are worried about that, it might be a good time to start saving now, because it could start in June, which is next month. It could start July. It could start in August. You never know. It's just best to be prepared. But that's going to be it, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.